Hi there, my name is Brett. I'm the founder of Blick Digital, and I decided to redo this video because it has been one of the more popular videos that I've done, and it was a little out of date. So I wanted to recreate it and give you a little bit more of a step-by-step process for setting up 2 or more contacts with one Infusionsoft Webform. So let me first give you the scenario here. Let's say you have an event, or you have some sort of situation where you have one Infusionsoft Webform, and instead of having each person go and fill out that web form individually, what you want is just one web form, and maybe you have multiple attendees coming to an event, or you have a husband and spouse, and you want those to be separate contact records in Infusionsoft and tagged separately, and so that you can do what you need to with those particular contacts. This will walk you through that process. So let me show you what I've done here. This is the basic layout of the campaign. Let me first explain how it works, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of what you need to do to get it set up. So what's going to happen is we're going to have this form here, which is the contact-facing form. That's what I've called the contact-facing form. In other words, that's the public form. That's the form that the contact will go to fill out, and they'll put in their information plus the other attendees or their spouses or the other contact's information. And then I've created another one down here called Contact To. And between these two here is an HTTP post, and you can see the name of it here is to complete the second form. Now, if you're not familiar with an HTTP post, that may sound a little intimidating. All that's doing is it's taking information from Form 1, and it is submitting Form 2 automatically, I guess for lack of a better term. So within here, what we're going to have set up is just an HTTP post. So if you want to copy this campaign, this is really all you need. I have this down here at the very end only to tag both contacts that they are both getting registered, in this case for, let's just say, an event. But really, these are the only 3 icons that you need to make this functionally happen within Infusionsoft. Contact 1 form, Contact 2 form, and then the HTTP post that's connected to the first one. So let me just jump into here and let me show you what this first one looks like. And I've actually done it pretty bare bones here. We could certainly add more information. It makes things a little more complex, and so I've kept it simple for now. But if you have questions, go ahead, leave them in the comments below. What you'll see here is your contact info, and that's just in normal Infusionsoft information, just like you're to fill out a web form within Infusionsoft, first name and email. The second one looks like it's also first name and email, but it's a little bit different in that. Let me just click on it. Let me show you what I mean by that. The field is actually first name _ test. It's a custom field. It's a text custom field. So the first thing you'll need to do is, when you create this first form, is create custom fields for that second contact. And the reason we need that is that data will be stored on the first contact record and then immediately sent to the second form, where it will accept that information and create the second contact. So kind of technical, but the main thing is, if you want, let's say, their phone number as well, you'll need first name custom field, email custom field, and phone number custom field as well. So once I've done that, I'm going to come back into here, and what I need to do is open up this form and get the details that will allow this HTTP post to submit the form on our behalf. So I'm going to jump into here and show you what that looks like. Again, in this one, I am using the original first name and emails within Infusionsoft. So I'm not using the custom fields here because I will actually need to create the contact in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that the way that it is. Again, if you wanted to add phone number, we would have added a custom field in the previous form, and then we would have put in the real phone number field here on the second form. But the main thing here, again, is to go to code. I'm going to click on HTML code unstyle. That's the easiest one to get from. And then I'm going to copy all of this information to, let me open up Notepad, which I've already been playing with a little bit here to test it out. And there's some information. So I've essentially copied everything into this Notepad document. And what I need are a couple of fields here. So the main one is this action equals. So this action equals, you don't need the parentheses or the quotation marks. Everything within the quotation marks is the URL that form, that second form, will need to receive the data from. So what I've done is I've taken that and I've created a couple of line breaks down here, and I've pasted it. So that's what I need for the first one. And then what I want are the names of all the other fields, and if available, their values. So every web form within Infusionsoft has this combination of Infusionsoft form XID. You can see the name here is Infusionsoft form XID or inf form XID. Type we don't need, but value we do need. So what you're seeing here is I've pasted down here inf underscore form underscore XID, and then I just put a space equals space, and then I put that value, which is right here. Then I repeated that for int form name, and you can see the form name right now is contact underscore 2. That's what I named it when I created the campaign originally. And then this one here is Infusionsoft version, and again the value is this. So those are the four kind of core elements of this campaign. The rest, of this form, the rest will get somewhat variable depending on which fields you're using. So I'm only using first name and email, so those are the only ones that I need. And what you'll see here, again, I need to go to the name, which is right here. So the name in this case is inf underscore first name. And in this case, the value doesn't exist, and that's because we haven't given the form a value. That's why you're able to type in a unique value for your name and for your email address to every web form. So in this case, you can see there isn't an equals anything. And again, I'll show you how to set that up here in just a second. So make sure that your information looks something like this, and I'm going to drag this off the screen. I'm going to come back into Infusionsoft, and I'm going to jump into this HTTP post. So HTTP post can be found here. I just drug that one out there. And here we are. So what you remember is that post URL, that action equals, that's what we put up here. So once you've copied that from your notepad and brought it into here, you should be set. And then the name value pairs that we kind of already talked about. So Infusionsoft form XID, I told you equals whatever that needs to be. Same thing with the form name and the Infusionsoft version. Here's where things get a little bit tricky just because the values are variables. So where it says inf underscore field underscore first name, we want to take the custom field that we had originally filled out on form 1 and place that into the first name of this form. Same thing on the email. The custom field from contact 1 on their email address needs to be the actual email address on this one. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do, I'll just delete these here really quick to show you, is I'm going to put my mouse in there, I'm going to click merge, I'm going to go to my contact fields custom, and I'm going to go look for first name, and what I called them was first name test. And in this case, email test. So those are the two fields. So those are the variables that will get passed to form number 2. And at that point, that's really it. So you've got form 1 getting filled out, and then the custom field data only getting sent to form 2, and then both contacts will funnel up into this register contacts. And if you come to my reporting tab, you'll see that I just was doing some tests, and I've got now 2 unique contacts. So form 1 was filled out, form 2 was filled out on behalf of that person because all their data was from this first form, and then at the end you can see I have 2 unique contacts. And there you go. I mean, that's how you set up this particular unique scenario within Infusionsoft. And like I said before, if you have any questions, any concerns, or even if you want to continue adding more contacts and you're not quite sure how to do that, let me know because it's all possible, and we'll go from there. So leave a comment below. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.